to legends arisen, where history breathes and greatness echoes through time. In a world ruled by chaos and comfort, one ancient civilization stood apart, unyielding, disciplined, and forged by fire. The Spartans weren't just warriors, they were the embodiment of a mindset, a way of life built on sacrifice, honor, and unshakable resolve. This is not just a tale of ancient war. It's a lesson for anyone striving to be unbreakable in a fragile world. Welcome to the Spartan mindset. At age 7, Spartan boys were taken from their families and thrown into the Agoge, the state's unforgiving warrior training system. Comfort was stripped away. Pain was normalized. They slept on beds of reeds, wore one cloak year-round, and were expected to steal food to learn cunning. Failure wasn't punished. It was destroyed. The weak were weeded out. What remained was not just strength, but discipline. Cold, focused, relentless discipline. This was the first law of the Spartan mindset. Resilience is not born, it is built. In Sparta, a warrior did not fight for himself. He fought for the man beside him. From the Agoge, boys were trained not just to survive alone, but to endure as one. Brotherhood was everything. They ate together, slept together, bled together. The most prized possession of a Spartan was not his spear, it was his shield. Because the spear protects one, but the shield protects all. To lose your shield was disgrace. To break formation was betrayal. This is the second law of the Spartan mindset. Loyalty is strength multiplied. To be Spartan was to master the body, but above all to master the mind. Discipline wasn't just expected, it was sacred. Words were measured, emotions were controlled. Even in agony, Spartans were taught to remain silent. There are stories of boys who endured fatal wounds without crying out, because revealing pain was weakness. They trained to obey without hesitation, to lead without ego, and to fight without fear. Every action was a reflection of inner control. This is the third law of the Spartan mindset. The greatest power is command over the self. Fear is a natural human response. But in Sparta, fear was not indulged. It was confronted, trained, and ultimately silenced. Spartans did not fear death. They welcomed it if it came in battle. To die with your shield was the highest honor. Their mothers would say, "Come back with your shield or on it," not as cruelty but as clarity. A warrior's purpose was not survival, it was duty. They believed the body may fall, but the spirit of courage never should. This is the fourth law of the Spartan mindset. Fear is a choice, and death is not defeat if you die with honor. The phalanx was more than a formation. It was a philosophy, a wall of shields, a wave of willpower. Each man protected the one to his left. Alone, a Spartan was vulnerable. Together, they were invincible. No one broke rank. No one rushed ahead. Their power came from trust, timing, and unity, the very values they had trained for since childhood. It wasn't about individual glory. It was about collective survival. Each warrior moved not for himself, but for the line. This is the fifth law of the Spartan mindset. Victory is earned when ego is surrendered to the mission. While other Greek states celebrated art, luxury, and excess, Sparta embraced simplicity. Their homes were plain, their clothes were minimal, even their speech was short, direct, sharp, and disciplined. That's where we get the word laconic. They believed excess softened the mind. That comfort weakened the will. So they lived as warriors every single day, even in peace. Comfort was not a reward. Sacrifice was the standard. Every Spartan trained not for pleasure, but for purpose. This is the sixth law of the Spartan mindset. Discipline begins where comfort ends. In 480 BC, at the narrow pass of Thermopylae, 300 Spartans stood against an army of thousands. Led by King Leonidas, they knew they would not survive. But that wasn't the point. Their mission was not to win. It was to buy time, inspire courage, and send a message. We will not kneel. They fought for 3 days. They fought until the last man. Their sacrifice lit a fire that rallied all of Greece. To the Spartans, death was not the end. It was proof of purpose. Their story was not about defeat. It was about defiance. This is the seventh law of the Spartan mindset. Legacy is built when you live and die for something greater than yourself. Sparta may have fallen, its walls may be gone, but the mindset, it endures. Today, warriors still train with Spartan discipline. Leaders still quote Spartan courage, and ordinary people facing hardship, loss, and doubt still rise with Spartan resolve. Because the Spartan way was never just about battle, it was about building a soul that doesn't break, a body that doesn't flinch, a will that doesn't bend. This is the final law of the Spartan mindset. Glory fades, but strength of character echoes through eternity. The Spartans are gone, but their mindset lives on, in those who train in silence, endure in struggle, and lead with honor. You don't need a spear or a shield to be a warrior. You need discipline, purpose, and a will that refuses to surrender. So ask yourself, are you fighting like a warrior or waiting like a spectator? The Spartan mindset isn't history, it's a challenge, one that begins now,